Hi, this is Chris. I'm going to do a watercolor in my watercolor journal of these nice fall cottonwood leaves. I'll wet my paints. So I want to arrange them in an interesting way with their fronts up. It's hard to tell sometimes. I just followed the similar type of contour. I didn't make sure that I got every single little lobe exactly right. What I'm doing is I'm painting a cottonwood leaf. I'm not taking a photograph of it. These are my brushes. When I travel, I only take a few of them. I have this little commemorative Winsor Newton jug that they were offering one year, and I purchased it. I thought that was really cute. But I believe my cat knocked it over because it has big cracks in it. But that doesn't hurt it. It still works. So I'm going to start with this white sable. It's a Robert Simmons number 8. And my water. And when painting any plants or flowers that have yellow in them, you always want to start with the yellow because it's the hardest color to add afterwards. So I always start with a wash of the yellow. If it's like fall leaves, especially cottonwood trees, flowers with yellow. So I make a wash and I build in layers. And in watercolor, you can work wet on wet, or you can wait for it to dry and then add what's called glazing, which would be a wet layer on top of a dry layer. I want to do some wet on wet because I want the brown of this leaf, I don't want it to be stark. I want it to have soft edges. I'm not worried about staying exactly in the lines that I drew. They're just guidelines. Because I have two different light sources on my desk, one coming from the right and one coming from the left, I'm getting some double shadow, so I'm just trying to pick out the strongest one or the one that I like the best. And I'm not following it exactly, I'm just giving an impression of it. When doing shadows, shadows aren't one solid color, and they're definitely not gray. I often use purple or purplish blue for my shadows. The shadows are a darker color of your local color. If I was painting the background of these leaves, this green cutting board, then my shadows would have green in them because they're just less light on the green. But since I'm working on white, and because I like purple shadows, that's what I'm doing. You definitely want to have some color in your shadows, and you want to mix that color up and move it around. I'm going to continue layering and intensifying the color. Now this leaf here still has some green in it, right in here and right in these areas. And this one up in here has some green in it. So I'm going to use some ultramarine blue and cad yellow. I'm going to use a little cerulean blue. And I'm just going to mimic those green spots. They're not exactly in the same place, but that's not my concern. The last little bits of chlorophyll left from the springtime and the summertime. I'm going to pump up some of the yellow too. Bringing a little bit of ultramarine into the leaves. Now I'm going to do some spatters, and I'm going to mix up some raw sienna, some burnt sienna. Do the same with ultramarine. So now I'm ready to put a title on this, and I think I'm just going to call it Cottonwood in the Fall. And I'll do some lettering. I'm going to use my Rapidograph by Cottonwood. It's a .35. This is a professional drafting pen, and I worked at one time for an architectural illustrator, and that's where I learned to use them and appreciate them. Thanks for watching. Go out and paint some fall color before it's gone. Have a creative day. Bye-bye.